Comic book people, it is Wednesday. What's your comic load this week? Here's mine. First up, all new, all different Avengers number 6. This was written by Mark Waid and illustrated by Mahmoud Asar. This is somewhat completing a storyline that involves Kang the Conqueror, but not really, because it's not really Kang the Conqueror. Although he is still at the same time, it was kind of confusing. In fact, they even use the term timey-wimey in this. And as you can tell from the cover, it also involves the Vision, where he's been being manipulated somewhat in the background. He's been acting very weird. Next up is all new X-Men number 5. This was written by Dennis Hopeless, and it was illustrated by Mark Bagley. This comic book focuses on some of the younger X-Men, particularly the X-Men that were plucked from the past and brought into today's time. The Blob is the main villain in this, but to be honest, I'm more interested in the other side stories in the background. Iceman is having a heart-to-heart with Kid Apocalypse. I don't want to go into the dynamics of Kid Apocalypse and how he's a clone of Apocalypse, and he's a good guy, and he's on an X-Men team. Let's just put that to the side. But I do like the idea that in this issue, Iceman is coming to terms with himself being gay, even going so far as to getting another guy's phone number, even though Kid Apocalypse helped out a little bit on that. Again, let's kind of not talk about Kid Apocalypse. Next up, I got Back to the Future number 5. It was written by John Barber and Bob Gale. This is an issue that's focused on Clara. It goes into her background, it goes into her upbringing and her family and what happened to them. It does continue off into the next issue, but it is nice to see that it's focused on her. Up to this point, everything's been mainly focused on Doc Brown and of course Marty. Next up, I got Batman and Robin Eternal number 21. This is a weekly series that focuses mainly on the Bat family members and some of their interaction, but it's also going back into the past, explaining some of the past villains that Batman has gone against. This current storyline is focusing on a terrorist by the name of Mother. This issue explains her background, which is pretty cool, and it's also very similar to Batman's background. Well, not similar, but there are similar circumstances that happen and made both of the characters who they are. Finally, I got Hercules number 4. This was written by Dan Abnett and illustrated by Luke Ross. I'm really liking the Hercules series a lot. Besides the artwork, which I'm a big fan of, I'm also liking the whole storyline about Hercules trying to fit into modern society. He's been here the entire time, but mostly he's just been a joke character. Now he's being taken much more seriously, and he's trying to change his image. Unfortunately, though, there are other new gods that are coming in that want to get rid of all of the old ones, including all of the immortals like Hercules. Hercules' heterosexual life partner Gilgamesh went up against them, and he was hurt very badly. Of course, Hercules is pretty pissed off about that. This ends off on a pretty big note. In the next issue, it looks like we're going to be getting a really epic battle. I gotta point out that Hercules' crotch piece, whenever he shows up on a page, it's really prominently shown. I just wanted to say that. I also got a couple other comic books that I'm going to be talking about separately in their own videos, just because I feel like they deserve their own comic book reviews, like He-Man the Eternity War number 15, Jim and the Holograms number 12, Fight Club 2 issue number 9, and of course A Dark Knight 3 The Master Race issue number 3. I think that's how it goes. But anyways, I'll talk about those later. So that's it for now. Be sure to check out my Patreon site, my website, my social media site, and everything else out there. Thank you guys for watching me in this video, and I'll join you in another one very soon. Peace.